I just have to take a second look at the calendar. It's Thursday, the 1st of February. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. This is your Frontier Opening Bell. Let's raise the curtain, as it were. Of course, you've got two more sessions this week just to technically knock off the month of January. So Wednesday, the market was down again for the Nigerian market. 1.07 trillion naira wiped off. So far this week, we've seen a little over 2 trillion naira of the market cap of the exchange, as we see a very sharp decline in the value of the big banks on the markets, as well as insurance. The market is being propped up, as it were, right now with non-banking names such as in the consumer goods space. But of course, yesterday we saw a bit of that sector also dented. Lafarge Africa, the third largest cement maker, down by 10% maximum on the market. MTN shares fell Wednesday also by about 4% on the board. So the market broadly down, speaking across the 5 key indices that we use to track the Nigerian market: the consumer, the industrial goods, the insurance, banking, and of course the oil and gas. The BRVM came back roughly 1% to 207.64 for the composite. The Egyptian market bucked the trend that started on Sunday with those rallies over the last 3 days. That was bucked by roughly 7% profit booking on Wednesday to 28,281. The Nairobi stock market went up by 0.5%. That's very good, solidifying the 90 reading at 92.18, while the South African market, the GSE, was softened by just around 0.1%. Let me just take you through the Eastern markets corridor in terms of economic, investment, business, and financial news. Kenya's general inflation up at 6.9%. Against 6.6% in December. The January data came in yesterday. Uganda's headline inflation also went up to 2.4%, slightly from 2.3% previous. The Statistics Office blamed the higher inflation in Uganda to transport costs, both land and air, as well as the fees paid for church weddings. All of that still being considered. How much is being charged for church weddings, by the way, in Uganda? But of course, that's a discussion for another day. President Ruto has rejected about 161 billion shillings in loans that have been offered the East African country by Trade Development Bank. And the newly licensed East African Bond Exchange is going to rival the Nairobi Securities Exchange. Catch me if you can. I'm coming up, and we're going to see more exchange on the continent. That's good news, as it were, to deepen the market and, of course, provide further window of transactions for dealers as well as investors to diversify their portfolio. The more, the merrier, as the saying goes. Mauritius markets are closed today. It's a public holiday to mark the abolition of a slave trade on the island of Mauritius in the Indian Ocean. Then you've got the Chinese firms, since they're committing about $7 billion to infrastructure across DR Congo. Those are headlines from East Africa. Let's step into Nigeria and West Africa. Of course, the big story is the Central Bank of Nigeria scrambling, as it were, to save the sinking local currency, the Naira, trading about 1,500, even at the official window, against the US dollar. Are we having a convergence yet? And what happens moving forward is anyone's guess. Yesterday, the international airline transport operators, the IATA folks, issued a statement saying that they're still uncleared $700 million in Nigerian commercial banks on tickets arrears that hasn't been paid, and that their members, foreign airlines, should not be penalized for Nigeria's rapidly falling currency, the worst in the country's history since 1960. So all of that in play today, as the central bank says, all verified claims had been cleared. That's about $64.4 million since we started the week. That is also in play. Then you've got the central bank coming for the second time this week to ram down on the banks to behave themselves, prevent market speculation across the FX, and says the net open position from banks should be closed. No one is taking any long position. Take that to zero effective from today. 24 hours to clean up their acts. Anyone found misbehaving as far as the FX is concerned will be severely penalized. That's according to the financial regulator. It's still in Nigeria. What's the cost of a healthy diet? You're going to ask me? They check out the numbers, by the way. The new indicator was released for that yesterday by the Statistics Office. You want to see what the cost of a healthy diet is in Nigeria. The country is reeling from high inflation, high interest rate, currency devaluation, serious depreciation of the local currency, and high unemployment. All of that. But what does it cost you to have a healthy diet? Just find out. The cedi, that's the Ghanaian cedi, is trading around 12.6 and 12.01 against the dollar at the Bank of Ghana's interbank the morning after the Bank of Ghana cut interest rate 100 basis points for the first time this year to 29%. Then the news came in yesterday that Chorus Group has bought the SocGen, Societe Generale's subsidiary in Chad, and that's here in West Africa. And China's Baowu says he's raising about $1.4 billion in bonds for the Simandou iron ore project in Guinea, West Africa. That's a whole lot. The project's about $20 billion plus, which cuts across not just to Guinea, but across a few other countries, all the way to the seaports, including rail line. It's a whole portfolio of projects on the back of that iron ore that is being exploited in Guinea. Let me walk you through what are the big stories in Southern Africa. The big stories over there has to do with South Africa reporting a trade surplus of about 14.1 billion rand. And good news yesterday, again, for Africa's most advanced economy, joining the preferential trade framework of the AfCFTA. It was formally unveiled by President Cyril Ramaphosa, as well as the head of the AfCFTA Secretariat, Wamkele Mene, who came in from Ghana to Durban, KwaZulu-Natal province, to see the takeoff of this particular trade, which is now being done under the preferential trade agreement of the AfCFTA. Some good news there for South Africa. We've got a whole lot more within the Southern African region as far as the economy is concerned. We're looking at Mozambique's central bank interest rate decision. We'll get you the numbers as soon as we have them. It's a very busy week on economic data across frontier Africa. Now, let me finish that off for you in the northern part of the country, with Egypt grappling with the currency devaluation prospect, with folks saying that devaluation should be done further as quickly as possible. So the all North African market is considering what will be done to the Egyptian currency as the IMF cuts the Egyptian's growth forecast to 3.3% for the full year 2023-2024 period, the same growth forecast which was set for Nigeria. The IMF released its new economic report just a few days ago. AfCFTA says it led the Arab Bank for Economic Development 500 million euros social bond, which was floated just a few days ago, while the Mahawk Telecom will pay about $636 million to Awana Corporate in an antitrust case. That's quite a bit hefty for the listed telco giant on the Casablanca stock market. Indonesia finally says he wants about $2.5 billion central bank financing for the treasury. Was that ways and means? Whatever that is, we'll follow that up for you. Keep your eyes here on Frontier Opening Bell. I will keep you briefed. This has been your curtain raiser for the new month of February. I am Boasting Namofa. Have a great day, everyone. Have a profitable month ahead as well. And I'll see you very soon.